So, welcome guys. Yes, today we brought a quite interesting topic for you. We want to talk about our front funnel marketing strategies. We're going to take a little deep dive into our affiliate program, look at customer journey, see how we evaluate our partnerships in terms of introducers, influencers and closers. But before we get going, just going to do a little introduction. So my name is Tim. I'm performance marketing manager at K24 for roughly 2.5 years now. And since 1.5 years, I've been taking over the affiliate program. And every day I get to work together with cool people like Pauline.
Perfect. Thank you, Tim. So I've been working at K24 for over a year now, and I'm also part of the performance marketing team. I focus on international markets, and I work on affiliates and SEA marketing.
Yes. So just to get you guys going a bit, I have like 2 simple questions. Who of you in the audience, show of hands please, is able to repair a broken car themselves? Okay, cool. And if you've done so, have you maybe heard of us? Who has heard of us before? Or who has actually done that? Nice. Okay, so for the people that don't know who we are kfzteile24. I like to sometimes use the analogy of us being sort of a pharmacy for your car. Pharmacy sounds expensive. We're not that expensive actually, but think of it like this. Your car is sick, your car is not healthy, your car needs some sort of medicine. You come to us, we are providing that medicine, we are providing that car part that is missing to get your car healthy again. We are one of the biggest online shops for car parts in Germany. And how are we doing that? Well, just some quick facts. Right now we have roughly 3 million car parts available in our shop. We're not only working online, but also offline with 3 physical stores in the greater Berlin area, in Spandau, Mahlsdorf and Weißensee. Attached to these stores are also some repair shops. So you can actually take your car to these shops and they will fix them on the spot. We've been growing quite a lot over the past few years. And right now we have roughly 600 employees working throughout all sorts of branches for us. And what are we doing all day? Well, we're making sure that we're sending the thousands of packages every day to our private consumers. But not only to our private consumers, also to our business partners, right, Pauline?
Yes, exactly, Tim. So as Tim said, we are selling our product to 2 types of customer. So of course, our B2C customer, so private person like me, like you. So anyone who is the car lover and wants to upgrade their vehicle, but also people who have enough technical skill to do some occasional repair themselves, and also people like me. Who I would be too scared to touch my car or to do anything to it. So what I do is I just buy my car part online at K24 because I know it's where it's cheaper. And I go directly to a workshop and I just pay for the repair services. We also sell our product to professionals, such as automotive repair shops. And nowadays, it's more and more professionals that are trusting us to quickly deliver them the correct car parts to them so that they can offer the best service to their clients. But in order to target those 2 types of customer, we are facing some challenges. So the first challenge that we are facing is the fact that the car parts market is actually a very competitive market with many actors in the industry, such as big e-commerce retailer like us, but also more than 20,000 independent workshops, sorry. As I said, those workshops can be our customer if they decide to buy from us, but if they don't, they then become our competitors. And we also have to compete against local retailers. But on top of this very competitive market, we have to face inflation. I'm sure all of you here today knows about the crazy inflation rate that happened in 2022 and that will continue to, unfortunately, grow in 2023. And when we think about inflation, we, of course, think about supply chain challenges, such as keeping up with the higher operational costs, so delivery costs, raw material costs, and how to keep up with customer and industry demand. This means that we have to be even more efficient than ever when we want to acquire new customer. But on a positive note, the vehicle fleet in Europe is aging, which means that there is more and more cars that needs to be repaired, which means that the demand in car parts is growing. So that's very good news for us. Also, what is also a new opportunity for us is the arrival of new types of vehicles, such as electric cars and SUVs. And every day, it's hundreds and hundreds of cars that gets broken, which means that is hundreds and hundreds of potential new customers. But how do we target those customers? How do we acquire them? Well, let's maybe have a look at the customer journey and what a customer journey is for us. So the official definition of customer journey refers to the path followed by so-called touchpoints before making a purchase. In other words, a customer journey is a series of touchpoints where your customers interact with your company at different stages of their purchase journey. Bear in mind that no customer journey is the same because no customer is the same. So how do we organize all those touchpoints? Well, at each stage of the purchase journey, we attribute relevant touchpoints. By doing so, we ensure that we are effectively reaching our target audience at different stages of their customer journey with the correct message. For example, I'm going to quickly give you 3 examples of what we are doing at K24 for 3 stages of the customer journey. So for the awareness stage, we like to go all out at K24 since we are sponsoring one of the most famous or greatest football club in Germany, Union Berlin Football Club.
Very successful at the moment.
Yeah, exactly, Tim. We also have a YouTube channel where we regularly upload content, so tutorials, updates about the automotive industry. At the purchase stage, we like to work with price comparison websites and with voucher and cashback partner. As I said earlier, the car part industry is a very competitive industry. And as Tim said also, people buy from us not because they want to, but because they need to.
Their car is sick.
Exactly. And because of this conflict, price is one of the most, or if it's not the most important factor in the buying decision. And that's why we like to work with price comparison partner and voucher partner, because we want to be able to capture those customers who love the good discounts, but also to display to our potential customer that we have very competitive prices. So the customer journey is, of course, something very complex. It can last a few minutes, and it can last also years and months. For example, when you go to a supermarket, it usually doesn't take you more than a few minutes to decide which kind of pasta or which kind of rice you want to buy. But when you want to buy a house or a car, then the journey is a little bit more complex, and it might take you longer to consider which one you want to buy. In fact, it's so complex that... Yeah, it's so complex that we can compare it to a river. Just as a river has many twists and turns, the customer journey is influenced by many factors, such as customer behavior, cultural trends, and market conditions. Just as a river has many stages and touch points, we saw earlier in the previous slides that the customer journey also has different stages and touch points. And some are actually more critical than others. Some companies really focus on the purchase phase. They really spend a lot of money to actually capture the customer right when they want to buy something. But at K24, we actually see things a little bit differently. Maybe, Tim, you can tell a little bit more about what we are doing with affiliate marketing.
Yes, let's talk about my channel. It's the coolest channel anyways. At least it should be. Well, yeah, affiliate marketing, for those of you who don't know, we were working with a CPO-based model. That means cost per order. Think of it like this. You have thousands and thousands of partner sites out there that are sending traffic to your site via various tracking methods. We can follow the consumer when he moves from a partner site to our site. Once he's making that conversion, that partner is being paid a commission. Well, Nowadays, actually, our program has been growing quite a lot in the last few years. There's actually also some people in the audience that have helped with this. Quick shout out to Ronnie. What I want to say is that we are working right now with a multi-network strategy. We are listed on all the main public networks that you might know of. However, recently we are also developing a private one. In these many programs that we have, since we're not only working in Germany, but also internationally, we're working in France, Denmark, Netherlands, and Austria. We have roughly 1,500 partners who are working with all kinds of publisher models. We're actually not trying to be too closed off when we think about building new relationships, because we want to listen to everybody. We want to see where there's some synergies. And we are trying to, really talk to everyone and not be too closed-minded about it. Well, let's actually connect all the dots here. So we've been talking about customer journey, we've been talking about our affiliate program, and now I want to ask the question, I always ask myself that question, how do we get some new customers excited to come to our site? Well, if I look at the customer journey now, and if I look at my affiliate program, I will have different kinds of partnerships that are able to, that I can split up into 3 categories. I would like to split them up into introducers, influencers, and closers. Introducers being the ones that are creating the first touch point in the customer journeys, influencers being the ones that are somewhere in between, and closer being that kind of that normal last click before somebody makes the purchase. Actually, now we believe that, that the introducers, so the people that are creating the first touch point for us, these are the ones that can actually engage new potential customers. So what are these introducers for us? Well, an introducer could be something like a search engine. You type in what is wrong with your car, you type in what product you're looking for, and that kind of creates that first touch point, either with us or with whatever you want to buy. Now, from a more affiliate marketing perspective, we are working with some interesting publisher models. For example, we are using prospecting partners, so partners that can create, with their crazy algorithms, it's really fascinating actually, some lookalike audiences. So they're targeting people that look alike they've been in our shop, but they haven't yet. And they can also really help capture these customers from the first touch point on. We're also working and changing our content and offers on site quite regularly. So we are, of course, working with display and banner advertisement. That means that, it's actually not so easy to make a brake part look sexy, but we try. Also something that can always engage the customer quite at the beginning of their journey. Also working together with commerce content or advertorials. We've been testing this quite successfully in the last year. So what we're doing is, together with our partners, we're creating some sort of informative article. Could be about a season, could be about a certain category, could even be about one single product, and combining this information, creating awareness somewhere where the customer maybe has never really knew that they might need this sort of information. We are trying to pull him from that partner site into our shop, and obviously we want him to convert. Something, last but not least, we also think an introducer could be, of course, social media influencer. Well, you might think social media influencer and car parts, are these really related? Yes, they are. There's a lot of influencers out there who are creating tutorials, kind of having their DIY, do-it-yourself approach, and teaching their community how to actually repair your car themselves. Well, and I think actually, Pauline, you have quite the interesting way of evaluating these potential new relationships with these influencers.
Yes, Tim, exactly. So first, I would like to point out that yes, social media influencer is effective when you want to acquire a new customer. It's not just about luck. It's actually possible to calculate the potential return on investment. So we will see shortly how I evaluate them, but first I would like to just explain to you quickly why and how we work with them. So our goal when we are doing any kind of social media influencer campaign is to, of course, increase our brand awareness, but also to drive conversion. So as Tim said, social media influencers are a great way to get our brand out there and get known by a bigger audience. But we also, of course, want to drive conversion. So actually, it's a good marketing channel to both create brand awareness and then drive conversion. That's why we like to collaborate on the long-term relationship with those influencers. And what works really well for us is any type of tutorial videos. So as Tim said, we like to work with professional, semi-professional influencers who have a lot of influence, who are very knowledgeable in the car part industry, and that their community trusts them with their advice, and that's something very important for us. And how do we actually calculate, or how do we evaluate the trust that an influencer has on his audience? Well, I like to use actually 2 KPIs when I engage with influencers. So the first KPI is the engagement rate. So it's actually, allows me to analyze the level of impact that an influencer has on its community. Of course, the higher the engagement rate, the better. And then I like to work with target CPM, so cost per 1,000 impressions. Of course, I like to have with me when I negotiate prices or when I want to work with them on the long term, I like to have 2 types of target CPM. So one for a high engagement rate, for influencers who have a high engagement rate, and one for influencers who have a lower or medium engagement rate, because of course, higher engagement rate means higher click-through rate and probably higher conversion. So we think that it's normal to have a potential higher CPM, cost per 1,000 impression, for an influencer who has a better engagement rate. And then based on your average conversion rate, that is, of course, dependent on the product that you sell, and based on your AOV, you can calculate the potential return on investments of a social media influencer. And it's easy to, if you want to do a long-term collaboration, it's actually quite easy to use this calculation for any type of collaborations. So maybe Tim, now that we saw what social media influencer can do, you can quickly tell us which kind of tools we use to track all those touch points at different stages of the customer journey.
Yes, thank you. So recently, I mentioned we are developing a private network, and with the technology that is available there, we are using 2 main tools. So with the contracting that we have there, not only do we give our different types of publishers different contracts based on what kind of commission model they are in, but we can also now say that because partner A has been creating the first touch point for us in the customer journey, we increase his payout by X%. That sounds pretty cool, but how do we actually see that? How do we do that? Well, we are using the insight reports that are available to us, and we visualize these customer journeys. We can actually see where the customer is going. So what I've done is I've prepared 3 transactions now, 3 different user journeys. And I would like to start with showing you one typical closing user journey. So we have a user that is, looking for maybe a good discount. We could maybe say that partner A, B, and C are typical voucher partners, people that are, really looking for the best deal. In the end, they are they're looking at partner C because they trust that site a lot. Maybe they found the best code there and they copy it, enter into the basket, and the sale is done. A classic closing relationship. We also have, this is something, this actually looks like more something like the river you were showing us earlier, Pauline. As Pauline was saying, it can be quite complex. So this would be something what I like to call an influencer partnership, where we have partner A and B being in the middle of the customer journey, not the first and not the last touch point, but you can see the user really jumping around between Google, between a price search engine, referring back to one of our partner sites, maybe for information, maybe for a good deal. And here you can really see how our partners are influencing the sale. But these are the ones, the introducer customer journeys are the ones that are actually, yeah, they have become the most important for us. We believe that they bring incremental value to our program since they are actually driving the percentage of new customers visiting our shop. We have partner A who is actually introducing the sale, who is creating the first touch point. And via the contracting I was mentioning earlier, we are now able to say, partner A, hey, well done, good job, you have introduced the sale. You are getting more money for that. We like to reward that, and we like to nurture relationships that are that are able to give us that first touch point. So these were just 3 transactions, and now if you think about that, we are gathering thousands and thousands of transactions over the last weeks and months. We collect all this data and we end up with a table. Yeah, I simplified it a bit, but in the end it looks something like this. We have our partners, and I would like to focus on partner E. So what this table shows us is that partner E, in 52% of the of all customer journeys and all transactions where partner E is part of, it is actually introducing the sale for us and is creating that first touch point. Partner E now is getting a higher payout from us because he has done so. And we could even add a second layer. We could, for example, say that partner E is an introducer because he was using asset or graphic A, or he has been using discount A or B. And we could test all sorts of things and use the data to whatever advantage we wanted to. You might see that the numbers don't necessarily add up. Yes, that's because, as you've seen 2 slides earlier, a partner doesn't necessarily have to be only once in a customer journey. It can be many times. It could introduce a sale and be an influencer. And yeah, this is actually how we work now. And what we're trying to do here is we're trying to move away from a last click commission modeling, but more towards a position-based commission model, so where we actually even out the balance and reward our partners along the customer journeys with the technology that is available for us now. And yeah, I think that's kind of the future of partner marketing. And we have, I think, some people still use that old approach, but I think many of the online retailers should think about actually valuing partnerships along the customer journey. And I think, yeah, we are actually running out of time. I would like to tell you much more about it, but I would also like to open the floor for some questions now. And we'll be around the Expo for the rest of the day, so you can just hit us up, chat to us, and we'll be happy to talk to you. So thank you so much for listening.
Hey, I was just wondering, you were showing the customer journey. Nowadays with the new cookie laws and also this iOS update, how do you actually make sure that you can catch all the steps in the journey?
Well, the customer journey I was showing you was actually web-based, so this is all web-based, so we are still working on integrating all the mobile functions. So once we have this, I will get back to you.
Hi, good presentation. My question is, which tool do you use for this multi-touch attribution?
We're using a company called Impact.